What's up, guys? It's the Endless Boss Battle Podcast, back again with episode 17, the day after episode 16.
Yeah.
It's like we're just spitting these bad boys out
Left and right, my man.
left and right. Avengers had us super busy. Now we got too much time on our hands, so um, we got news this time. A lot of good news, too. Really excited to get into this. And this episode, we're going to be covering our first impressions, even though season's like midway through of spring. So, yeah, let's get into the news. We got a new Final Fantasy VII Remake trailer dropped, which is really big because the last trailer for this was about 3 years ago.
Yeah, man.
So, I think 7 is cool, but I've always been big on Final Fantasy 8, and I know that they're finishing, or when they finish this one, they plan on doing 8, so I definitely want them to finish this one as soon as possible. Unfortunately, in the trailer, all it says is that we'll get more info in June. I don't know if that means another trailer or an actual release date, but I guess we'll see as far as that goes. But the trailer is cool. We get a lot more than we didn't see in the first trailer. Cloud's whiny personality comes through. It's just unreal to see these guys not blocky as fuck like PlayStation 1 days.
Yeah. I remember Advent Children being the one time where I was like, oh, hey, Cloud actually looks kind of dope.
And it does kind of remind me a lot of that Advent Children movie, and I noticed in the comments for the trailer a lot of people agreed, but I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's going to turn out good. I mean, it kind of has to, right? Like, that's a long time to be working on the game. I feel like I just got out of high school. In like 2012 when I was first hearing about it.
Yeah, it was a while. I think it was someone on Twitter I seen made a tweet that was like, my wife was pregnant when Final Fantasy VII Remake was announced, and now she's 4.
Wow.
I was like,
so I guess I'm not really that off. Like, it really has been that long.
Yeah.
But, that's wild. Take a look at that trailer. It's not very long, but it's pretty cool. It's a good watch. We'll put the link in the description below afterwards. Next up, I'm gonna try to pronounce this, and it's gonna be bad, but Takehiko Inoue, the manga artist that made Vagabond, Slam Dunk, and Real, has declared he will continue writing the manga Real, basketball drama that takes a look at the emotional recovery of dealing with physical disability through recreational sports. I've seen a ranking wise, this manga is really good. I haven't read anything on it, and I know a lot of people on my Twitter feed. Granted, people are going to lean more towards action focused manga, but a lot of people were a little upset that he wasn't going back into Vagabond because like that's also a phenomenal story. It's crazy that this guy has 3 manga under his belt that are labeled in like at least 9 out of 10 range, you know?
Yeah. This dude's definitely insane, man. Like, heavy changer of the manga game, in my opinion.
But I would say that with him making Slam Dunk and Real and choosing to focus on Real, it definitely feels like he knows more about basketball, or at least cares more about basketball than, samurai setting.
Yeah, Vagabond is praised a lot as like being the best samurai manga like ever made.
Yeah.
And I mean, from what I've read of it, it's pretty damn good. But if his passions and all of his like dedication is in basketball and that's what he really enjoys, then fuck it, man, do it. Like, this
Yeah.
story looks really good, and I like stories like this. So
Yeah, I bet it hits hard, man. Like focusing on these, I think like three different characters end up in wheelchairs, and they all have a passion for basketball, and they work out their issues through playing the game. And I don't know if it's like a team, like they get a team together or what, but regardless, it sounds really cool.
yeah,
I'll definitely check it out someday. But I guess regardless, I'm just glad that he's back at it. A lot of the people on Twitter, like I said, like if you got to kind of put your these people work really hard for these things, as we mention pretty much every week when we get into news. But I would say just be happy that he's going back into doing it at all. It at least gives you more hope for Vagabond if you're more excited about that, anyways.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, maybe someday, you know, look forward to that. But if you're into Real, that's good news. He's getting back into it, I think, really soon. So next up, we are hitting more Seven Deadly Sins news. This time, it's so the artist or Weekly Shonen Jump announced that, or teased that it'll reach its climax in the next issue on May 15th. The next chapter, the 310th chapter in the series, will be titled Farewell the Seven Deadly Sins.
Damn.
And then on top of that, the next season that we talked about on the news before, that's airing in the fall season, that is likely going to cover the climax, which I don't know how or why that's happening when there's no way you covered 200 chapters in 2 seasons. I mean, I haven't seen season 2 yet, but I'm sure there's a lot of things that are going to be missed that are going to raise some eyebrows.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that for sure. It Seven Deadly Sins for me is weird because it creeped up on me out of nowhere. Like, this show came out of fucking nowhere, dude. Like, and then it got really popular, and now it's like, I almost feel like it's dying in the height of its popularity. Which, I don't really want to say dying, because if the author has a solid ending to it, then by all means he should finish it off. Like we were talking about with, like, the Berserk manga writer. Like, that dude just needs to, like, wrap it up if he's gonna keep putting it on a hiatus. But I don't know, Seven Deadly Sins, like 310 chapters, it's pretty solid. I feel like I just feel like it's kind of leaving early, and I don't know if that's because I've been reading a lot of stuff that is, like, obscenely long.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. In terms of popularity, it's a really weird time to do that, in my opinion.
Yeah, there hasn't been a big focus on it, I think, since season 1 aired. Like, the popularity with this show and manga is really, like, up and down like crazy. But I mean, it does say that he had the ending planned from the beginning.
Yeah.
But I also remember my friend Jeremy, as well as people on Twitter, when, like, I think the last chapter, the chapter before that came out, I guess there was a major ass pull that was, like, almost manga breaking.
Dang.
I remember Jeremy telling me I completely dropped it a score, I think he said, after reading that, because it was just so ridiculous. So I don't know if it's really that he had the ending planned, or he understood that he backed himself into the corner and pulled out an ass pull and then was like, well, I should probably end this soon because it sounds like I'm fucking up.
Yeah.
But I have no idea. I can't speak from what from I can only speak from what I've heard.
It
So
kind of seems like the opposite of what happened with Attack on Titan. So like when the manga came out and the first season of the anime aired and it became like obscenely popular in that first season, people started reading it. I remember reading an article a long time ago saying that the person who made Attack on Titan had never planned to continue making Attack on Titan. Like,
oh
that shit was just like around where like mid to end of season 1, like that was just gonna be it. And like with the manga, he was just gonna it was gonna be like the Titans rule over everybody, fucking everyone dies. That's the end of the show or end of the manga. And yeah, dude, it's like so many people liked it that he was like, oh shit, I didn't think all these people would like this. So then he kept developing the story.
just like how we were only supposed to have like, I think half of Dragon Ball Z, up to half of Dragon Ball Z, and then everything else has been kind of just demand.
Yeah, if Dragon Ball Z ended at the Frieza arc, I don't know how I'd feel.
Yeah.
But
I have no idea what's been going on in Seven Deadly Sins. I've only watched the first season, so but
same.
I mean, it's definitely worth bringing up. And if you guys have any insight of what's up or what you think about it, let us know.
Heck yeah.
Next up, we are the Devilman Crybaby anime podcast, so we have to talk about the fact that the studio picked up a television anime called Keeping Your Hands Off Aizoken, or Keep Your Hands Off Aizoken. It's a manga adaptation in which 3 girls try to make an anime together. It doesn't look like there's a release date right now, but expect us to push this one hard when it does.
Oh yeah, like everything related to Devilman Crybaby in that studio.
There is a little PV for it, but it's also not really like that informative. Like, might not really be that worth. But yeah, expect the if you're into those things, the other creations from them, like what else was it? Like oh man, Lou Over the Wall,
Yeah.
Kick Heart, and things like that. Walk On Girl.
Yeah.
So if you liked any of those, then you'll probably like it. I really enjoy the animation, of course. So, but I know a lot of people that don't.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that we tried to get into Devilman Crybaby, and they were like, "Yeah, I could not deal with that animation, dude. I had to bounce."
Yeah, it's the same people that said they couldn't deal with like Spider-Verse's animation. Like, I know there were quite a few people that were like, oh, you know, Spider-Verse's animation just doesn't look that great. And I feel like it's all like opinion. I thought Spider-Verse's animation looked amazing. I can see why some people wouldn't like it. But it's the same thing with Devilman. I thought Devilman Crybaby's animation was amazing. Some people hate it. Kind of a acquired taste, I'd say.
For sure. Yeah, keep up with that. I know we certainly will.
Yeah.
And next up and last on the news chart, we have Quintessential Quintuplets is receiving a second season. We also don't know when that will air, but we will hit you with more info when we have it. But I do have something to go into right now on this note. If you're not on anime Twitter, or Twitter with an anime account primarily, then you won't understand how obvious it is that this season was announced. People are so hooked on this manga right now. It's all I see from everyone I follow. Like, Quintessential Quintuplets, it aired last season, and no one talked about it as I was watching it last season. And I was even posting like, hey, this Quintessential Quintuplets is like a good harem. Like, you guys need to check this out. It's a really well written harem.
That's your least favorite genre, isn't it? because
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
mechs, right? But then like you kind of got into them a little bit.
yeah. Yeah, I guess yeah. Harem really is my least favorite genre, and that's a big time exception. I loved the show. I think it got my biggest surprise.
Damn. Yeah, I think so. I have to go back and look, but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm extremely not surprised. I would not be surprised if they just kept making this concludes because I think the manga is finished or might be finished.
Ah, wow.
Yeah.
Huh. I know that the end of the first season left a teaser at the end of it on that whole scene we talked
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I was like, I gotta see who wins, and then it was like, okay.
Yeah.
But all right, that does it for the news.
All right. News is
Um,
done.
Now we gotta hit up the seasonals, the meat and potatoes, the reason you're here.
Yeah.
So, how do you want to do this? Because we usually do this on my anime list, but some issues with I think they have some issues with us recording it or some kind of privacy thing. So we have to use Anichart now. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
So how should we do this?
Well, now that we got them pulled up here, if you're on YouTube, you can follow along with us visually. If not, we can explain it good enough for people on Spotify.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about each one of the shows on this list all the way until we get to the end of seasonal. Anything that we haven't watched yet or don't plan on watching, we'll talk about at least to explain why we don't plan on watching it or why we haven't watched it yet. But yeah, we're just gonna go down this list, starting at One Punch Man 2 all the way to the bottom. So it's gonna be kind of open discussion, I'd say, on each one until we hit the bottom.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you've watched One Punch Man season 2 a few episodes, right?
No, I haven't watched any of it, and if I had to be honest, I think at this point I'm just gonna wait for the season to end and then I'll watch it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well,
I heard that the last episode got like rated like a 2.5 out of 5 on my anime list, so I was like,
damn.
it's already iffy with people. It's already not as like visually awesome as the first season. So yeah, I think I'm officially just gonna wait for this to finish.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I watched the first episode and wasn't too impressed with it. I mean, obviously, like we talked about in one of the news segments a couple episodes ago when they announced One Punch Man Season 2, it didn't look as exciting or well done, which, I mean, it's whatever at that point, but this will also probably be one that I wait until it's finished to watch.
Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, it was one of those where I watched it and me and you didn't even talk about it because I felt it wasn't that noteworthy to like bring up in conversation.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll probably wait until it's done airing. But you have watched Demon Slayer.
Yes, I am up to date on Demon Slayer. That is wow, man. This show visually, man, they the line work on the animation is like one of the best things I've ever seen. They put so much care into everything, like making this world feel real, making the demons look super creepy.
Yeah, dude, it's animated by UFO Table and they did the Fate series.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that completely makes sense then.
Yeah,
Um,
the animation's just amazing, man.
so basically, it's all pretty much in the title. but it is a like shonen-y show about a kid that has to get stronger in order to slay all of these demons. It's not like Goblin Slayer. Trust me, it's not like Goblin Slayer. But like I'm trying not to spoil too much. But his sister ends up being a demon, and like this dude has issues with killing anyone, even demons. So like he obviously doesn't want to kill his sister. So he wants to make her get better, and he goes through the process of being like one of the demon slayers. So yeah, but I mean the story is really really good.
Yeah. I've seen 2 or 3 episodes of it. I haven't caught up on it. A lot of shows I haven't caught up on because I've been reading manga and have also been watching Black Clover every week since we've been doing that. So I've been all tuckered out on anime recently, but I'm going to need to get caught up for the end of the season so I'm not doing crunch time in the last 2 weeks like last time.
Yeah, that was crazy. I felt for you there. I don't know how you did that. But yeah, I absolutely recommend this. It's going to be like 26 episodes. I think they've already like to this point I don't feel like they've hit any hiccups or anything. It's always exciting, and I won't spoil exactly what's going on, but there's a lot of like Resident Evil vibes I was getting in the last couple of episodes, and that's all I'll say there. Yeah. But it was really, really cool.
Yeah, I'd recommend it as well.
One issue I want to say is like I've been noticing that so real quick when people talk about comics as they release, they say that purchases usually go, you get a lot of sales for the first issue. Second issue gets half of that, almost always. And I've noticed that goes the same way with seasonal anime. I heard so many people talking about Demon Slayer and hyping this show up, and then for them to completely flip-flop, and like no one talks about Dororo, and that's still going on. No one talks about Demon Slayer anymore, and I've even seen people say that it's like falling off now, and it's like, no, it's not falling off. Like you just got burnt out on how much you were hyping the show up because of a 20-minute episode. Yeah, and you just expect it to be on that nonstop. But yeah, I just wanted to know how much that was frustrating.
Yeah, it's also people going into it with masterpiece expectations from seeing so much on Twitter and then getting like just a good show. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, it isn't a masterpiece yet, but it's a good show. In terms of animation, I'd say it's UFO Table. Anything they make could be a masterpiece. But when you look at it as a whole, right now it's not a masterpiece, but it is really good.
I think it has good potential to be a masterpiece. It's just I'm kind of pacing myself with it on excitement so that I don't do what they do. Like, I want to be able to finish the 26 episodes, take a breath, and say, wow, yeah, that was a 10 out of 10. Or right now it's sitting pretty high up there for me, and it'll win at least a couple awards, I think.
Yeah, it's really hard for people to watch that show, in my opinion, right now, because we are coming off of the season that just had Dororo, and it's like, when you compare the two, at least in my opinion, Dororo's like better. Which is no down talk to Kimetsu no Yaiba, because it is really good. But a lot of people going into it, like I was saying, with Dororo expectations aren't gonna be as happy as they could be.
Yeah, well, this definitely has more shonen, like there's gonna be a big cast, and Dororo does feel more personal, as we've mentioned before. Like that's the vibe I was getting. The first episode had heavy Dororo feels, and then this has similarities, but I do think that it's like this is This is definitely just more shonen.
Yeah.
It follows all of the trope, but has a very mature tone it's trying to keep, and does that very well.
Yeah, I highly recommend it as well.
Next up, I know you little behind on Attack on Titan, but season 3 part 2. Wow. We only have 2 episodes of this so far because it's only going to have 10 episodes. But it's awesome. It's hard to not spoil it, but I will just say I think the last part of season 3 was a 5 out of 10. I didn't really want anything to do with it. I will not rewatch it. Season 2 was phenomenal, and I feel like this part gets back to that season 2 feel that I was having. And yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah, I seen Annie Twitter blowing up over this. Like, they were like, oh my god, this is insanely good. And I was like, huh? I was like, I dropped off of Attack on Titan waiting for season 2 to come out, so I'm pretty far behind. And now they're like, oh man, it's just the craziest. People piped it up to be like the craziest thing in anime history, and I was like, holy shit.
Nah. See, that goes back to what I'm saying. Like, this show was the only thing starting around the time it did 2 weeks ago. So people blew it up like Demon Slayer, and then, give it a couple weeks and then they'll stop talking about it. But it is very hype. Like, from episode 1, it is immediately on some crazy shit. But it's not all that. But it is going to probably carry the rest of the season as far as a show people watch. I think I would put it over One Punch Man as far as like what everyone is watching.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure you're already watching it if you are a fan of Attack on Titan. So we don't really need to go too much further into that. Fruits Basket. I've watched 1 episode. Gotta be honest. But
I've also only watched the first episode of the remake. I've watched the old one. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's really good. From what I saw, I laughed a bit, and the main character is really cute. Might have best girl nominee potential.
Damn.
The characters seem really cool. I like the premise of. I never watched the original, so this is like my first intro into it, other than like what I saw on TV. But I was definitely not watching it in any kind of order. So seeing like the characters do their like animal counterpart of the astrology symbols, that's cool.
Yeah, the Zodiac stuff in the series is always great. I would always recommend the old Fruits Basket. After watching the first episode of the 2019 reboot, I will recommend it as well. Seems to be on pace with the older Fruits Basket as far as I know so far, which is also kind of why I haven't been watching it that much. Because, like, it's like rewatching it, but in HD almost. So, yeah, we'll see how it is. Probably this is going to be like One Punch Man, where I wait till the end of the season to watch it.
That's the thing that bothers me is they still don't. I think up to today, they still haven't talked about or released how many episodes it's going to be. Yeah. 5 episodes have been out, so it could be one of those long ones. I don't know how long. But I think it was a pretty long one. Yeah, still says question mark. So we don't know about that one. I'm excited about it. I'm gonna try and keep up with it. I think I'm not gonna let it go too far away.
Wow, that's fair.
Next up is, oh man, what does this translate to?
My bad.
It's like Grandpa something something.
Kinja no Mago. Don't
Kenja no Mago.
don't know the English title of that.
It's Wise Man's Grandchild.
I have no idea what this is about, and haven't seen any episodes.
It's an isekai.
Oh well.
And
what we got on here next then?
It's not very original. First episode was a bore. I might watch the second episode and see if I want to finish it. It's only 12 episodes, so I'm not going to run into the slime or Shield Hero situation where I get like 10 episodes in and I drop it. I'll at least be able to finish it, and I think I can do it. But I really think it might be a disappointment category.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say on that.
Yeah. For me to be disappointed, I have to be interested at first, and I hate to say it, but I'm just not interested. I might not even watch that show at all.
Well, they got like he's adopted as a baby by the hero Merlin, and it's like, come on, man! Like they got all these fantasy things that anime has thrown in there like so many times. At this point, just watch Fate.
Yeah, to be honest, man. Yeah,
Jesus. All right, moving on. I don't know what the next one is, so you might have to.
I also don't know what the next one is. I can try to say it as best as I can. Sewayaki Kitsune no Senko-san. Have no idea what this is about. This is the first time I'm even seeing this, and it's already got 6 episodes out. Yeah, and Twitter hasn't talked about this at all.
This says, the explanation says, he's introduced to the Kitsune 800-year-old young. It says, whether it be cooking, cleaning, or a special service, she'll heal his exhaustion with ... Oh, with her tender care. Okay. That's still weird.
Well,
I bet that's an ecchi.
Yeah, you never know.
It's a slice of life comedy. It doesn't even say ecchi. It's probably on some weird stuff, but it's got a decent rating so far.
Yeah, it's worth checking out if you want something random to watch, I'd say. Like,
yeah.
Good rating, 6 episodes out, decent rating, 6 episodes out. Comedy slice of life, Kitsune girl. I'd probably take a look at it. More so than that fucking isekai shit.
Man, that's gonna be the one that you watch and you're like, well, I shouldn't have said that.
It's gonna be the girly Air Force of 2019 spring season.
All right, next up is Ferry Gone. I actually hyped this up a lot before it aired, and I didn't watch one episode because I heard it got really convoluted and weird and whatever. But it's got a 56% on this website that we are jumping into for the first time. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. It looked really interesting, but I hear it's just got so much going on in the plot. It really might be the boogie pop of this season.
Yeah. It's like, from what I've heard, it's just like they add another plot point before resolving the issue they currently have, and it's just been stacking on top of each other over and over and over again.
And it's like, as watching it every week, that's probably just not a good idea. I'd say, if I had to guess what I've heard, do the boogie pop thing, just wait for it to finish, and then bump it out in a day or two, and come up with your own.
What's interesting, though, is on this website, it's ranked as the 7th most popular show of the season. So that's it's above what we see here, Carol and Tuesday, and that is just phenomenal. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get to that in a minute, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how Ferry Gone is. It looks like Ferry not gone do too good with that 56.
Oh no. That really. Oh no. That guy. I gotta go really quick. I gotta go get a drink after that, so I'm gonna leave you with the next
You
one.
gotta go report a murder.
That one, oh man.
Dang. All right. Next one we got is Bokutachi Wan Bankyo. I can't read this because it's too small. Ga Dekinai. I have not heard anything about this one, except for, or let me rephrase that. I have not seen anything on this. I have not watched any episode on this. I haven't seen any clips from it, but one of our friends has the tan girl in the background with the hoodie around her waist as waifu of the year. So, yeah, I don't know about this one. It looks like it's okay. It's an ecchi. I'm not too into ecchi, but yeah, it's 8th popularity, so it might be really good. If you're into...
This is the show that he had Waifu of the Year?
Yeah, the tan girl in the hoodie on that picture.
Oh.
But yeah, I haven't looked into it. I might take a look at it, but yeah, if you're into comedy, ecchi romance, you probably check it out. It's not really my cup of tea, but I like I love romance anime, but I don't like ecchi shit. So like,
I like comedy romance, so
yeah.
Ecchi sucks though, man.
Oh yeah.
Like
sure.
I try to be open to, like, that's why I watched so much mech stuff last year, was because I wanted to force myself out of the idea that I fucking can't stand mech stuff, and I ended up accomplishing that. And I would honestly say mech stuff isn't that bad now. But ecchi, man, every time I watch a goddamn ecchi, it's just it's so frustrating.
Yeah,
I can't. I just don't think I'm ever gonna get there, man.
Same.
All right, next up, absolute banger.
Oh,
Carolyn Tuesday.
It had nominees on the first. We watched the first episode of this and came to the agreement that this was probably going to be on the nominee for Anime of the Year.
Yeah. Oh, it's in the nominee for Anime of the Year right now. Compared to everything else, it's the Bebop producer. So I'm probably I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it, but it's the runner. It's the runner right now. It's the dude. It's the greatest show, and I watched the one episode.
Yeah, Studio Bones too.
Yeah, they're just stacked. Basically, these two girls are on Mars, and like it's really neat that they have this sci-fi setting, but it's just about two girls trying to make music together, and they got like amazing cast on here, amazing musical artists performing on it. Like this is gonna be crazy. I also saw someone had a blunt in the last episode.
Yeah, it was like the rich mom.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I seen Thundercat and Flying Lotus.
Flying Lotus, yeah.
And I was like, yo, this is gonna be dope. And I like how it's got this futuristic setting and everything, in the town, and their entire lives have all this futuristic shit going on. And she's still just playing a fucking old-time Gibson acoustic and fucking electric keyboard.
It's like the setting just makes it more interesting, but as opposed to like a lot of sci-fi things you watch, the setting makes the characters have to adapt. They're like, oh god, we're on Mars, and how are we going to survive? But it's like, they don't have to worry about survival. They're fine. They just want to make some music. So
Yeah,
it's just an extra cool visual thing to see. And that's really cool.
yeah. Carol and Tuesday, highly recommend.
Definitely. Bungo Stray Dogs Season 3. Have you watched
I
any Bungo
haven't
yet?
watched any Bungo Stray Dogs, not even the first season.
Well, I watched season 1 and season 2, and I planned on watching the movie before I started season 3. So I haven't watched any season 3 yet, but I know where the story um, is sort of planning to go in this season. And this is such a surprise of a show for me. Like, I was talking with my friend that's been watching it with me as well. We kind of had the same idea that when we saw season 3 was airing this season, we were like, well, let's watch the other ones and then we can like jump on the train or whatever. But yeah, man, like the main character, he's a were tiger, so he can like turn different parts of his body into a tiger
Oh,
uh,
that's kind of
and
dope.
fight. And it's like they have an agency where they just deal with the paranormal, and these everyone has these powers, not like not like My Hero Academia powers, but sort of like I guess sort of like My Hero Academia powers, but not as extreme. Like it still stays pretty grounded and focused on like uh, up close and personal type of deal. But yeah, a lot of the dudes have cool powers. There's gangs. There's like a port mafia that's in their town, and then there's a group called the Guild that is they're these American type dude. I think they might be from America. Yeah, they're like American dudes, and they're all named after famous authors, and all of their powers are based off of that author's works. And yeah, I think a lot of the story is really thought out. They have an awesome rivalry that's sort of like Deku and Bakugo.
Ooh.
And yeah, it's absolutely worth a watch. The humor is very timed well and doesn't take the show. And it's a pretty serious thing. Like they also do they have a guy on the show that does the cancel move that we talk about all the time, but
Oh,
it's actually not overpowered as fuck. Like he is not always around doing crazy shit. So yeah, big thumbs up there because that's a power that I've always thought was really cool, but always just is way too busted. So yeah, I'm slashing the whip at at Black Clover and
magical
certain
index.
magical index. So get it together, you guys. Uh, Next up is Hitoribachi no Marumaru Seikatsu.
Is this the one about the girl who communicates in haikus?
No,
Ah,
no.
I was gonna say there's
Uh,
two anime out this season that have main character has issues communicating,
yeah,
and
I think there's that one anime that is just completely silent.
yeah,
Like, I don't think anyone talks. I think that sounds really interesting. I don't know if that's this one.
I don't know. I don't think so, but
It says this is a comedy, but it looks like it deals with some really serious topics. It sounds like this girl has serious social anxiety to the point where she wants to vomit when she has to speak. So it's got a good, decent 71%. I would say it's definitely worth a watch. Slice of life comedy, hell yeah.
yeah, I'd check it out. 71%, 11th popularity. Yeah, I would.
I really want to trash this next one, so
Oh, you want to trash this one, and I want to trash the one after it. So,
okay, great. So Sarazanmai is one that a lot of people on Twitter are a big fan of.
oh, this is the Kappa one.
Yes. So, man, I thought this show by the cover art looked so cool. Like, I kind of signed myself on board from the beginning, and got into the first episode, and I guess there's this thing with kappas where they like steal they like steal something through butts and have cucumbers all the time. So this yeah, this show is just about kappas taking stuff through butts. It's pretty good animation though, and it's sort of got a lot of space dandy vibes. I think fantasy drama is a really bad way to slap titles onto this. I think it's absolutely a comedy.
Yeah.
I don't see any drama elements that I would take seriously, if I had to be honest.
Yeah,
It's not good.
I seen a scene where they pissed off one of the kappas and he like jumped up through dude's ass and
Yeah.
then turned him into something. It was so fucking weird, man. But you know, here's the thing. Okay, you know my girlfriend, right? She loved Kakaguri. I didn't like Kakaguri that much. I thought it was okay, but it wasn't like best of the season like it was for her. She liked fucking Agretsuko, and I wasn't a big fan of Agretsuko. What did she hit me with the other day? Hey, you seen that Kappa anime? It's really funny and really good. Yes, dude.
Oh man.
I'm afraid we're never gonna see eye to eye on anime that we both enjoy, which sucks.
So the thing is, like, yeah, it might be funny to someone, and I'm not trying to not recommend it. I think the popularity, I understand the appeal of the show. I think it sort of has an Adult Swim type of humor where it's just like, wow, that was so absolutely bizarre that it's hilarious. But for me, I grew up, I lived on Adult Swim, so like, in my opinion, I feel like this show's just trying way too hard.
Yeah.
So that's
It's got a 69%, so I mean, guess people like it, but it ain't gonna be up my alley.
I might. Well, no, I'm feeling like I might drop it. I look at it on my anime watching every single day, and I think about dropping it. So I'm at this point, I might as well.
Yeah.
Well, 11 episodes really isn't that bad to just knock out.
Yeah, true. Oh man, we got another one on here. I'm about to roast. Now that I see it. All right, let me talk about this for a minute with Shumetsu Toshi. All right. Shumetsu Toshi is a 48% in 6 episodes and is the 13th most popular.
It's Madhouse.
It is Madhouse, and I had high expectations. I watched half of the first episode and turned it off.
What?
It is a mess. Animation quality is okay. I mean, Madhouse can deliver with animation. But the story is just all over the place, man. I can't even follow it. Like, it says here, like, one day its town gets annihilated. Young woman's left alive. All of this stuff shows up and happens in, like, the first half of the episode. But just the writing is so poor that I cannot care for either of these characters, and just them randomly being placed in this situation with no real like drive to pull me in. I just dropped it halfway through the episode. I think I was at work and had to go do something and came back and was like, I don't even have the effort to open it and watch the end.
Wow.
I have heard not a single positive thing about this from anime YouTubers either. So I kind of feel like I'm not alone in feeling like this is not that good. And those are some people who are like 4 or 5 episodes in and say that the writing and the main characters are just so dull that you just cannot you just can't get into it. And it sucks because it has such a cool concept and like I don't know, man.
Man, that's a big bummer because with Madhouse's, issues lately
Yeah.
with overworking people, this isn't looking good. They might be on the decline, honestly.
Yeah. Unfortunate. Really hate to see it this late in the game.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it from one of the most beloved, but hey, you overwork and then you get hit with this karma, so.
Yeah.
I don't know what the next one is.
I also have no idea what the next one is. From reading that description, Kono yo no hare da ko o utsu shoujo yuno. I have no idea what it is. Says that this young student whose father is a historian has conducted various researches, disappears recently, and then he gets a package during summer vacation from his father containing information, I'm guessing, on his location about the existence of various parallel worlds. Okay, that seems
that
kind of
sounds
cool.
sounds like some Steins Gate-ish stuff.
Yeah. I don't really have an opinion on this. I'm gonna try to check it out, but I'm not too excited.
Yeah.
Before the season ends, I'm gonna watch everything, but not like crunch time like last season. But yeah, I'll get to it eventually. What do you think about this next one? Because I haven't watched it, but the the preview poster for it, I was like, it looked really stupid. But
yeah,
then, like,
I agree.
It also kind of looks interesting.
Yeah, so Kono Oto Tamari is what it's called, and it seems like if any of you guys watched Liz and the Bluebird, it seems like it's sort of focusing on people playing instruments. I guess there's a Koto club. It's a
giant string instrument.
It's massive. Like they look like it's a hassle to carry around.
Yeah.
But I think that it's sort of on that very unique level that I'd be all about it. It's a drama romance music, so
yeah,
I'm gonna check it out. I think I'll go into it with excitement.
Yeah,
and I doubt it. I doubt it like completely drops the ball. I feel like if they took the risk on something this out there, that is probably good.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Oh man, I'm gonna go. This is the other one that I wanted to have a word about. Gunjo no Magmel by Studio Parrot. I don't know what the fuck you guys did, but this is not a good show for me.
This is the Black Clover Naruto guys, right?
I think so. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, that's it.
But here is the thing. The basic concept of this show is that a random island pops up that's the size of a continent in the middle of the ocean. And it's unexplored. So all of these people want to go exploring there for different shit. First episode, they immediately throw you in a situation with a character that you literally don't... There's no reason to care about this dude. He's just trying to find his brother. It's like some shit. The animation isn't that great. The main character, he accepts to help him go find his brother, and they set off onto the new continent to find his brother. I'm not gonna spoil too much, but let me just say that With this show, the animation, oh, how do I put this? The animation just isn't good.
Yeah.
Fuck. I can't remember the term, and we use it all the time, but it's when the animation quality gets really, really good. Yeah. I can't remember the term. Fuck. I feel like an idiot. But, yeah. Let me just state that there are times in this show where 90% of the time it is really bad animation. The characters are dull. The main character has a power that makes no goddamn sense. And when they pump up the budget for the animation to look good, it only looks good for like 20 seconds.
What is his power?
I don't actually know. That's how fucking stupid his power is.
Oh, so he can kind of just, they're vague about it so that he can just like pull some stuff up.
Yeah, like he has this like lightning shit that comes out of his hands that can like disintegrate.
I saw he had like some kind of telekinesis.
Yeah, he's got that. He's got like the lightning shit. He can like disintegrate. There's this one part where there's this guy with like a slug or something attached to his head, and he's walking around like a zombie. And the kid's like, "Hey, we gotta go help him." And the guy's like, "Yo, don't go over there." And then he like throws a stick at the dude, and these giant like centipedes come up out of the ground and start eating around where the dude is. So they like used him as bait. And the kid's like, "Oh man, thanks so much for helping me, blah 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 blah." And the guy's like, "Yeah, don't mention it." And they start walking away, and you just see the big centipede dudes get cut by like these electric wires as they're walking away. And it's like, how the fuck did he do that? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like it was unbelievable, man. This is a nominee for worst of the season.
Wow.
Yeah.
That studio just can't do anything that blows me away.
Yeah. Yeah. That's about all I want to talk about with that, man. It hurts. I'm probably dropping it because it just is not good.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is one I look at starting so often and keep passing up on it, but it's called Mayonaka no Occult Kaomuin. It's says centered on a government worker assigned to the Nighttime Regional Relations Department. Each of Tokyo's 23 wards has one such department, which were established to solve paranormal and occult-related events. Sounds like Bungo Stray Dogs. Sounds like a lot of things that have existed before. It's got a 57%, which isn't good, so it sounds kind of like if you want to get into something, just watch Bungo Stray Dogs. Especially because it's airing in the same exact season. Yeah, I don't know if you got anything else to say about it, but I do think I could like it. I'll probably watch it just to have it under my belt. But
this is my first time seeing it.
Okay.
So yeah, it looks interesting. I might check it out. I like supernatural shit.
Next up is Robi Hachi. It looks like the dudes that did the one show I was watching last season, or was it last season? No, it was last year. Doug and Kirill, or whatever. No, it's not. It's actually not.
They did School Rumble. That's a really good show.
So, it looks weird. Like, this looks weird.
Yeah.
I can't explain what about this cover throws me off, but it looks kind of like American cartoon.
Yeah. I can see that a little bit. But
I think the little robot dude looks cute. I think I'm a sucker for sci-fi, so I'll probably check it out. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this one.
Yeah, it's kind of up in the air for me. Like I said, I think I said this to you before we started the podcast tonight. A lot of the stuff I'm watching this season are TV shorts, so we're getting into these, and a lot of these I haven't watched just because like I wasn't interested or I'm just now hearing about it, and that says a lot compared to last season when we were like all over everything because everything was at least decent.
Yeah. I do kind of like this next one, Cinderella 9. It's there's a lot of baseball stuff going on this season.
Ooh, is this a baseball one?
Yeah, so it's about a group of girls. I think only one of them is like really good, and then she kind of just gets a baseball club together on the spot, sort of like Free did with swimming. They were like, "Hey, let's just start a swimming club." They kind of go through the same process in the first episode I watched, but they go through like this process of like trying to understand how the game works and working on their own flaws. And I think it's a severely underrated show from what I've seen. It's super good. I mean, it might have the kaiji effect where you're like, oh, I watched Diamond No Ace, so fuck Cinderella 9, but also like, I don't know, because it seems like a different thing. You got like, it's a squad of girls, so.
Are these next? Is this one Cinderella 9 and the next two baseball?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think we can probably stop at 20 and then just like browse through the rest until we get to shorts and ongoing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it seems like everything else is like,
yeah.
Yeah, Diamond No Ace Act 2, I think I wanted to get into this season, but then I saw that season 1 was like way too many episodes, like over 70.
It's like Kuroko basketball level of episodes.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't think there's any way I'm going to be able to knock all these episodes out to get into this season, so it's one of those things that's got a good rating, but I feel like a lot of people are in the same ballpark as me, where it's just too many goddamn episodes.
All about the puns tonight.
If you're no, yours was way better. If you have watched all those episodes, you are probably already watching this, so I don't think we really need to go too much into it. But it's Madhouse, so it's something there looks like they're doing right.
Yeah.
Other than that, I wanted to watch Bakumatsu, but then I saw the second season of Bakumatsu is going on right now, but I saw the first season was like not good. Gundam Origin looks pretty cool.
Yeah. I might check out Gundam Origin.
And then yeah, you got your like ongoing of like Yokai Watch and
Bakugan
Card Fight Vanguard.
Battle Planet, the 2 billionth Bakugan and 3 billionth Card Fight Vanguard series.
So now on to TV shorts. There is a lot. I don't know if this is a thing that they're going to start doing more often, but other seasons were not like this.
Yeah. Yeah. These previous seasons have not had a lot of shorts that I can really tell. There's been a couple, like a handful, like there was a anime a few years ago that came out about a girl who like sits beside a dude who is always being like a class clown and distracting, and every time she gets annoyed at him, the teacher always looks over and it's like her that's being loud and distracting because she's being annoyed. She's like annoyed.
Yeah.
So like he's always getting her in trouble and stuff, and that anime is phenomenal. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. It's somewhere on my list, but yeah, it's I haven't seen a lot of shorts recently. Or in the past few seasons. This season, though, all I've been watching is shorts for some reason. It's every show that I think I would enjoy is a short. So it's crazy. So I'll go into this with my most anticipated anime of the season, which was Isekai Quartet, because I've seen, I want to say, 3.5 of these series. I've watched Overlord up until the end of season 2. I've watched all of Konosuba. I've watched a little bit of ReZero and all of Saga of Tanya the Evil. And to have all 4 of them in an anime comedy where they're in like a high school, and it's like a kind of like a parody of slice of life comedies and stuff, but you get to see how all the characters interact with each other and stuff. Like there's an episode where Kazuma was like arguing with Subaru because they look the same. And Kazuma was like, yeah, I'm superior, and like Subaru's a normie, and it was really fun. It was really funny. Like Goddess has her, not Goddess, Aqua has her thing where she's a goddess, and whenever Ainz is around, she's like, I have to purify this evil, and Kazuma's like, man, shut up, you're stupid, and it ends up like dragging her away. And yeah, it's great, man. Great. 12 episodes, only like 10 minutes an episode. Most popular seasons for TV shorts, and a 70%. I have to highly recommend it.
Yeah, I haven't checked it out yet, other than I think I watched the first episode, but it was dubbed, and I really was not a fan of that.
Yeah. I don't like dubs.
I heard that from Shaw. She actually said that it shows how little character development there has been in their individual shows, where like they kind of just have to follow the tropes that they are in these episodes, which I guess wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing because it's such a big cast that it's just kind of like funny shit for a short. I think if it was 22 episodes, this would be trash.
Yeah.
Or 22 minutes, sorry. I didn't mean that. If it was 22 minutes an episode, I think it would not be good.
Yeah. It definitely works as a short. I agree.
Yeah.
This next one, we
both
watched this next one.
Yeah, we both went at it like, what were we gonna say? So it's called Teacher, Why Are You Here? I think is what it translates to. I want to first say that when I saw this cover, I was like, yes! This show's about to be sweet. I didn't look into the genres. I didn't look into much of the plot. I saw that cover art and I said, sign me up for the first episode the day it comes out, because this looks like it's going to be sweet. There's like 2 girls in here that look like they could be best girl. And wow.
Honestly, though, the teacher still might be. She's
yeah, she is cute.
Yeah, despite everything else of the show. Yeah.
This show fucking sucks, though, man. Like, wow. Like, yeah, she is super cute, but wow, this is ecchi gone wrong. I would say this isn't even good if you're trying to find something lewd to watch.
Yeah. Because all of it's censored too, like they have the big giant, and that's the thing. I just want to say something really quickly. If you look at the first or second or third episodes of this show on Crunchyroll, because it's on Crunchyroll, if you look at those and you look at the comments, all of the comments are like, "Can I get a link to the uncensored episode?" Because they made an uncensored version of this. So
they did?
Yeah, they did. So it was like.
Oh, man, wow.
It's even more crazy when you think about it like that.
Yeah. I don't know how this passed, man. This is an abomination. The first episode, I was like, okay, but they do this thing where basically the teacher. Okay, the premise of the show is that the teacher is always found by the main character, and it's always in this like really inconvenient situation. I think this being a short, it's too fucking long as a 10-minute show. There's like a scenario where she's like she's sick and she's laying in this like in the nurse's office, and the dude's like, "Oh, let me find you some headache medicine or something for your sickness." And she's like, okay. So he goes up to the cabinet and he's looking through the cabinet. I'm sorry if I'm spoiling this, but also do not fucking watch this show. So he goes through the cabinet and he's like, "Oh no, the only pills for your sickness I could find are the ones where I have to put it in your butt." And so they do this whole scene where she's like, "It's okay if you have to do that. I'll let you." And then there's actually a scene of him like being behind her, like, "Okay, I'm about to move your underwear down so I can put this pill in your butt." Like, what? Get the fuck out of here. Oh, I hope parents are watching their kids closely if they go anywhere near this show, because they're gonna get into some weird shit when they grow up.
Oh yeah, dude. This should have honestly it's almost a disgrace this wasn't. I know it's already a manga, but it's almost a disgrace this wasn't a hentai.
Yeah. I think if they just rolled all out, just went full on hentai, I don't know how much weirder it could have got, but
at least it would be reasonable then.
Yeah.
It's not targeted to like I just don't understand the demographic here, because dudes that watch this would just watch hentai. So
yeah,
like I don't get it, man. But only thing saving this show for me is the teacher's waifu material. So
yeah, agreed.
So yeah, that's about all I gotta say about that one. The next one I have seen, we just seen that one. But Madara na Aochan wa Benkyo ga Dekinai. I just call it Aochan. This show is an ecchi, and it's a comedy, but it's done like damn near perfect in my opinion. The main character doesn't want to grow up. The girl doesn't want to grow up influenced by her father, who is like a legendary best-selling erotic novelist. He just writes nothing but erotic novels. And
wow,
he's like a little tiny dude. They portray him as a dude that's like 1 foot tall and looks like an old man. He's got like a really big mustache and stuff. It's really funny. And she like is just focused on schoolwork and stuff in the beginning, but then she like meets this boy, and then they become friends, and every single time that she's just trying to do normal stuff, her dad will show up or give her bad advice that causes her to act as like kind of a pervert, and she doesn't like understand it. Like there's a scene where they're in the first episode where she goes to the infirmary and the dude's there, and the dad gave her advice that if she got sick and the boy she liked came to the infirmary to give herself to him, and she was like, "I'm not gonna listen to my dad, he's an idiot." And then she's sitting here having a conversation with him, and the dad's like hanging outside of the window with a big sign that's just like, "Do it." And she's like, "What the fuck?" And then the dad like crawls into the room without being noticed while they're having this conversation, and the dude like turns away to look for a minute, and she feels her shirt lift up, and her dad's behind her with like a fishing pole, lifting her shirt up with the fishing pole, and he's like, "Come on, no daughter of mine's gonna be innocent like this." And the other dude turns around right as she like smacks her dad, and he goes flying. And he's like, "Huh, that was weird." And like, it's just funny because they always get into these situations. Like, I remember another scene that can describe this perfectly well. I think it's also in the first episode. Her dad gives her a book that's like it's like advice on how to be intimate with men, and he wrote it, and so she's like kind of studying it because she's just curious, and then her and the guy, both of the books look exactly the same. The dad wrote it so that it could be like it could be passed off as like a class textbook so that she wouldn't get caught in class reading it. And so her textbook and the dude's textbook look exactly alike, and they bump into each other. And
they swap?
And they swap, yeah, and they're having this discussion.
No.
And he's trying to discuss about, like, oh, hey, the homework was really hard last night, but, like, it's coming off in, like, a kind of... she's like, oh no, he read this book and knows exactly what I'm thinking, so he's coming on to me by being perverted. And it's like he uses phrases like, wow, it was really hard last night, and she's like, oh my god, he knows what I was reading. And the whole time they're just talking about homework. And it's hilarious. I would recommend it 100%. Like I said, I hate ecchi, but I like this show.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's like primarily focused on it. It seems like it's focused way more on comedy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Teacher is like way focused on ecchi.
Oh yeah.
The next show is actually I think my second favorite show of the season.
Dang, I haven't seen this one yet.
Senryu Shoujo. Basically this girl only speaks in a form of a haiku, and she walks around with this ex-delinquent, Eiji. And, man, I have not felt this way about a show since Wotakoi back in summer of last year. Like, I love when a slice of life, like, romantic comedy comes along and, like, just has me in my feels, man. And, it's really cool. It's like they both really look up to each other, and like they obviously both have a crush on each other, and everyone around them is constantly pushing them to make that move. And like I don't know, it's nice because they're not always focused on like, oh man, how am I gonna, on that Kaguya-sama stuff. Not that that was bad, because they used that to the max productively. But this is like, they are just good friends. Like, they're super, super good friends, and you get to see them grow from the beginning. And even though only 6 episodes have aired, and it's a short, like, the way that they develop these two characters has been phenomenal. And I super highly recommend it. I think it might be one of the most underrated shows I've ever seen.
Damn.
So, yeah, I'm giving it a 9 or 10.
Jeez, nice.
Yeah, it's super good. I can't recommend it more.
These next 3 I haven't seen at all.
Yeah, we can pass by them, but the first one is the one of the completely silent.
Yeah, I've heard good things about this. I'm surprised it has a 50%.
Wow, yeah, oh, man. Well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know if that's just people clicked on it and they were expecting words and then they didn't get it and they were like, eh. But if it's animated well, I don't see a problem. I don't know what Studio 7 is.
Yeah.
But it kind of seems like they also did the next one and that got a 51, so maybe it's not even visually pleasing.
2 short anime series in the same season by the same studio. Damn. And they're both at a 50.
I don't actually think I have anything to say about the rest of the shorts unless you're watching.
I'm watching Chokato Girl 1/6. That's Amazing Stranger is what the English is.
Oh, okay.
Main character, waifu of the season for me, 100%. She looks like how do I best describe it? She looks like if you've ever played the Mega Man X games, there's a character that's like the communications operator girl. She has blonde hair, red
Oh,
armor.
yeah.
She is in Mega Man X6, which is a game I played way too much as a kid. And yeah, she almost looks like Robo Roll, like a more robotic-ish humanoid version of Roll from Mega Man, but like as a teenager. Anyway, all aside from waifu of the season, this show's pretty decent. I wouldn't say it's my favorite show of the season by far. It's not a bad show either. But to sum it up, dude is insanely into collecting anything revolving around her or her series. She's a figure, pretty much. She's like a little anime figure. And he buys her one day, and he wakes up, and she comes to life. And he's like, holy shit, what's
It's
going
like
on?
Toy Story on steroids.
It's like Toy Story, but with like, yeah, it's like Japanese Toy Story, kind of, but instead of it being, it's more like adult focused. It's not ecchi, but it is more, yeah, more of like a romance, because this dude doesn't have any attraction to real women. He's only attracted to anime things.
Oh, how convenient.
And yeah, if you look at the comments on Crunchyroll, everyone's like, oh my god, an anime finally made about my entire life.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's pretty funny, but yeah, the show's pretty much about him and her, like, going through everyday life and her learning about the world and finding out that she's like a doll. And yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty solid. It's I'd recommend it. At least checking out the first episode.
So it doesn't deserve the 50%?
I think it would be like a 65 or a 70. But yeah. What is this you're highlighting us? This looks like Parappa the Rapper.
Yeah, I know. It says that B Rapper Street from Studio Pie in the Sky, that no one's heard of, follows a boy who raps to the beat of his farts.
What? Well, now we're gonna have
absurd.
to check. Now we're gonna have to check it out for the absurdity.
Yeah, but listen to this. It's a multimedia project collaboration between Sony Interactive Entertainment, Sony Music Entertainment, and Sony Music Communications. Sony was like, yeah.
Yeah, greenlight that boy who raps.
The cover has, I thought it was just them running really fast, but it's just this kid's fart and a dog farting beside him. And wow.
Hey, April 11th, that's tomorrow. It's when that comes out. It's dropping.
That was last month, man.
Oh shit, you're right. Oh my god.
Yeah, we already got this glory anime out, I guess.
And it ain't even the lowest rated popularity.
That's pretty crazy.
That's something right there.
So Leftovers, which I guess is just continuing from last season. Shield Hero? You still watching it?
Nope. Nope. I haven't watched an episode since episode 15.
Man.
A lot of people have been saying it's getting really good. I read ahead in the manga on like I want to say episode 5. So I already got to the part that everyone was talking about the sweet revenge thing and the name stuff. So I already knew about all that, but I'm just like, Eh.
Yeah, I stopped at episode 10. I finished episode 10 and then I stopped. It was so boring when I stopped watching it. But I heard the last episode, episode 18 that aired, I heard they finally got back on track to like a really solid story. I think if I had to be honest, I'm probably going to go back and finish Slime before I finish this. I
Yeah.
think I might come around to this when it's done airing, so I can just bump it all out
You
in
know,
one go, one depressing day of my life.
speaking of depressing days, you know what I think you should do relatively soon?
What?
I think for the experience, you should check out from the beginning Sword Art all the way up
Oh
until
yeah,
current season. Just so you can
man.
get your own like opinion on it, because when I had started watching the show when it had first come out, I was like, this show's lit, and then it just kind of gradually declined, and now I'm like, I kind of matured as an anime fan, and it's only okay now. And Alicization, I've heard, is insanely good, so I
Yeah,
might be missing out on something.
I did promise myself and everyone else that I would tackle that this year, and I feel like this is probably the season to do that. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
just
Oh,
hey, let me know and I'll watch it while you're watching it. I'll try to like keep up with you.
okay. Yeah, that sounds cool. That I would like you to go through that hell with.
Hey, you never
Yeah.
know, you
Oh,
might love it, man.
I really sincerely hope I don't. um. Yeah. So, Shield Hero, you think you'll watch it when it's done?
um yeah, probably, but I'm not going to keep up with it right now.
Okay.
It
Or
Oh, go
no,
ahead.
go ahead. No, finish up.
I was just going to say it looks like Boogie Pop finished from what the
Yeah.
thing says. So I said once that finished, I was watching it. So that's next on my list.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it ended up, I think it evened out to a decent enough score that it's probably good, and it might actually be surprisingly good. I didn't know Madhouse made that, or I might have known that and just forgotten it. But yeah, I bet that's a trip.
Yeah.
Um, other than that, the only continuing is Dororo. I still haven't picked it up since the end of the first part. I That's not to say at all that I was disinterested in it. I kind of just wanted to give it a break because I was watching it every single day. It was dropping.
Yeah.
But I'm still very much on the Dororo hype train. I think I gave it. I think we both gave it anime of the season last season.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great. It's still gonna be one of my favorites of the year. Um, but I wanted to give it some time. And I'll probably just bump out all the episodes and catch up in a day. They don't have JoJo's on here, but I finally jumped into JoJo's Part 5, and I'm loving where it's going right now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely going pretty good. Have you seen any of these movies out yet?
Um, I haven't watched any of them. I really want to watch Promare because Studio Trigger, and there's
Oh,
a lot
yes.
of inspiration from other creations, and I've seen everything Trigger's made, so that's dope. I cannot believe this Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress movie was made. It's that anime was fucking bad. Um, there's this one movie we talked about in the
Oh,
news,
dude, that's gonna be so good. I want to watch it.
Science Saru. That's the Devilman dudes. Um,
It's June 21st is when that comes out.
this one we also talked about. Studio 4 Degrees Celsius made Kaiju no Kodomo. It was that water one.
Yeah, that one looks pretty
Or
good. I might check out the Girls on Panzer one because I'm all about that fucking ship girl and tank girl life.
this is Lupin the Third movie. I saw the trailer for that. Looked really good.
The 23rd Detective Conan movie. That
Yeah,
shit's
make sure to tune into that.
New Doraemon movie.
Yeah, I remember it being
What the
more.
fuck? Do you remember? Did we talk about Miru tights?
You might have told me about it. I don't know.
I don't know about this one, my man.
What's going on?
It's not out yet, but just reading the description, I don't know. It's an ecchi, it looks like, about girls wearing tights, and it's just
Oh
them.
yeah, I saw the trailer for that. Wow,
Yeah.
we live in the best timeline, man.
Oh no. Oh no! Angel flew down to me and Uzumate are getting OVA specials? Are you kidding me? Why, man? Just let me
Yep.
hate that anime in peace.
They also have a thing about the Ultraman series that was dropped on Netflix. I still really need to watch that because I heard it was pretty good.
I don't think they have the Yojo Cinco movie on here.
Yeah, there's a couple things I remember seeing on my anime list that are not on here. So I don't know exactly what we're missing besides JoJo's and the Made in Abyss movie. I think the Code Geass movie.
Yeah. If you care about Doraemon, there's the new Doraemon movie that came out.
That looks a lot polished. Like, it looks like they stepped up the animation game on Doraemon.
Oh yeah, dude. Even recently with some of the new stuff they've been making in relation to Doraemon, it's a lot more crisp. Like when they had the 1300 episodes of the OG Doraemon that ran over like 20 years,
hmm
all of those episodes kept the 70s art style all the way until it finished in like the 90s or early 2000s. So it's really cool to see them spice things up. Is this what you got pulled up now? It's summer.
Yeah, this step into summer. It's gonna be the best season.
Yeah.
Just based on the stuff that I have actually been like really passionate about as far as manga goes.
Ooh, a
Like,
sequel to Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon?
yeah, I actually heard that was decent. I'm not gonna trash it.
Yeah, it's okay from what I've seen. Uh, yeah, I don't like isekai, but it's okay. Ooh,
Accelerator
yes!
seasons.
The Accelerator season, man. I'm so hyped
Yeah,
for that.
that's gonna be way better than Index.
Oh yeah.
Um, because honestly, Accelerator was like the main thing I was a fan of from Index. Not that there were a lot of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get into that when we get there. So overall, how are you feeling about spring? How's it looking compared to the other seasons? Like, what's your opinion overall on spring?
Spring to me is so far the weakest season of the year.
Do you think it will end up being the weakest season of the year? Like, in the end?
I do. Because
Do you think we should have an award for best season and worst season?
Yeah, I think that'd be a cool idea.
Yeah.
Like you just pulled up in fall the fourth season of My Hero Academia, the new Sword Art Alicization coming out in fall season, Psychopaths 3. Like it's freaking look at this, man. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like it's going to be crazy with how much stuff is High Score Girl 2. Man, Fate Grand Order? Yeah, okay. No, this is the weakest season of the entire year.
Yeah, I gotta say right now, we're halfway through it. I don't see the season coming around and getting me as excited about the rest of it. Like Beastars, I really can't wait for that shit. High Score Girl, you're right, yeah. They got another Fate coming out, looks like.
Yeah, that one's based on the mobile game story, which is also canon to the Fate game, so...
Ah.
Yeah, so, man, fall season might be contender for best of the year. We'll have to see, but there's just so many hits coming out that season.
Yeah,
that...
I think my passion's gonna lie with summer, but there's a lot of manga I still need to read. I think a good way of doing this would be to like go to what's coming out, and when it says that it's based on a manga or whatever, it'd be cool to just jump into the manga and see. Like, I want to read Beastars before it airs and all these other things just to get stoked about it more, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think saying right now what the best season is going to be hard because, like, we might end up being in a honeymoon phase with fall when we do our actual awards. We'll forget about how hyped we were when winter was going on.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, but I think I can at least definitely say spring is not the one.
Yeah, spring ain't the one, Chief. Not for me, anyway.
So, let's see.
You know, a lot of people say that last year was the greatest year for anime. Honestly, this year said, hold my fucking beer.
Seriously, yeah. Like, I could not believe anyone saying that about last year, but with the stuff that's going on this year, like, it's so hard to argue with it. I see so many shows, Promised Neverland, Mob Psycho Season 2. People are going to be talking about Fire Force. People are going to be talking about My Hero Academia's 4th season. Like, there's so many things that are enough to... Demon Slayers, I know that's going to go down as one of people's favorites. Attack on Titan, Fruits Basket getting remade, like...
Yeah.
It's unreal. Like, Vinland Saga, that's going to go down as, like, one of the craziest things that's ever dropped. Dr. Stone is going to be in the big 3, like, easily.
Yeah.
I understand someone saying it about this year, and we're not even there, way there yet. So,
yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess that's about it. We kept you guys for a while. We just kind of wanted to give our thoughts. I feel like after having to load so many episodes of shows at the end of the season, our impressions are usually like, you know, we've only seen half of the shows. We don't hit them with as much info as others do, but other podcasts have like 5 or 6 people, so
yeah,
they're covering a lot more areas than we're able to physically. So
yeah. It'll be cool. I want to say before we go, I'm entirely open to having guests on this channel. If you want to talk about it, you're interested, just come into our Discord, send us a message. We'll talk to you about it, what seems to be a good time or good place, and yeah, we'll do it. We were kind of late on the episode tonight because we watched Detective Pikachu.
yeah,
which I think we should do an episode about that sometime this next week.
I think that would be good.
Yeah, because I don't know if Paige told you, but you gave it a 9, right?
Yep.
I gave it a 7. So
I understand that.
we can have a bit of discussion about once everyone's seen it in about a week, and we can talk about it with a big spoiler warning. we can have a discussion about why things that you thought made it a 9 and things I thought made it a 7.
Okay.
But
That sounds cool.
I will say, if you haven't watched it, to go watch it. It is a giant success for video game movies.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's all I gotta go out with today.
All right, well, we hit you guys with an episode last night, so we don't have a whole lot of things to drop on you. As always, hit us up if you want to join our Discord. We have a decent group in there of really, really chill people. We love talking about anything from games to manga to dropping JoJo's memes. So
Yeah.
if you're interested in any of that, let us know. We'll get you in there, no problem. But for tonight and maybe this week, unless we do one tomorrow, this is Endless Boss Battle signing off.
Yep.
See ya.
See ya.